Hey everybody, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to try and make a bug hotel. And you see all around here I've got all kind of different chunks of wood. This used to be an old cat door. These are some leftovers from some other projects. These are some 2x6s I've had sitting around forever. So earlier today I did a video about having to hand pollinate my squash and my cucumbers, and that's something that's kind of a pain to have to do, so I'm going to try not to have to do that. But in order to do that, what I'm going to try and do is create a bug hotel. Alright, now like I said, I've got all this scrap lumber that I need to use up anyway because I really don't have another purpose for it at the moment. So I'm going to try and take this and turn it into a bug hotel. So come along with me and we'll try and figure out how to put all this together into some semblance of a basically an exterior shelf that I can put stuff into that the bugs will nest in. Alright, let's see how it works. Alright, so don't make fun of my woodworking skills, but so the plan is we're going to start with essentially a box. So in order to do the box, what I'm going to do, I've got these two 2x6s cut to the same length, this one and this one here. So I'm going to create the top half of the box, and then I'll go along the bottom and make a brace with the other 2x6 that will make a square box. So to do that, first we're going to take a drill, and we're going to run a couple holes down. Oh, but if I plug the drill in, it'll help. We're going to run 2 holes down in here and run screws into it. Now keep in mind, I'm not going to be living in this, bugs are. So it's not like it has to be ultra secure. But I also need it to be able to stand up to, at least in theory, hurricane force winds. So we'll run a couple of screws down. There we go. Nice and square. That ought to work. And yeah, this would be a whole lot easier if I had 2 drills. But my battery drill is sadly older than most of you probably are. And so I got to go buy me a new one. Father's Day is coming, just saying. For those of you who are really concerned. There's that. Alright, so after much trial and tribulation, but look, no bloody hands. That's like totally amazing. If I've done any project with no bloody hands, that's pretty cool. Alright, so this is the Hilton of Bug Hotels. Alright, so the idea is, like I was saying earlier, I was a little disappointed that I hadn't had as many pollinators around as what I really wanted to have. So basically I created this, and then what we'll do is we'll take different things and put them in here in all these spots, and then we'll fill it with things like logs that have got holes drilled into them, bricks, pots with stuff in them, all kind of different manner of things that will attract bugs. I'm going to go ahead and take it out in the backyard now, and I'm going to mount it up and have it ready to rock. Alright, so it's been a few days since I got it built. I got it placed out here, and it's looking really good, I gotta admit. I mean, I'm very pleased with myself. Let me kind of show you some of what we got up in here. Okay, so up here in the top section, I've got a bunch of pine cones stuffed up in there, mostly because I didn't want to get a whole bunch of wasps growing up in here and building nests up in that top angle. So we stuffed it full of pine cones, and then certain, bugs can get up in there. And in these sections on the sides, you notice I've basically made a little platform here by putting a couple of bricks with a piece of wood. And on the sides over here, once again, it's stuffed full of just junk. I mean, this is just, sticks and so on that have been put in there once again to fill the spaces, keep the wasps from building too much up in here. Even though I'm sure I'll get a wasp nest or two. And then down in this section here, this is basically Mexican sunflower stems from last year. Now they have the nice soft meat here in the middle, and a lot of bees like to tunnel, so I'm figuring that they'll be able to tunnel into that and then basically just make their own tubes if they want to. And then over in this section I have some rolled up cardboard. Let me show you how I make that real quick. Well, I'll get to that in just a second. And then here's some bricks with holes in them so bees and wasps and so on can get back in there and hide out. That's what I've got in the top section. Now up in this section here, near the bricks, what I've done is I've made these rolled up cardboard. Now, from what I understand, you want the corrugated cardboard like this, so that basically the bugs can get up inside there and make it look nice. All right, and then basically all you do is you take your cardboard and you roll it. And I've cut this to where it's about the same depth as the bug house or the bug hotel. And you just take it and roll it, and you don't want to roll it too tight, but just roll it up like so. And then just wrap a piece of string around it and stuff it up inside that hole. And that's pretty much all there is to that. All right. So this is the finished product right here. And basically you want the corrugation so that you can see the holes are inside here. And then you want to make sure there's lots of little nooks and crannies inside of it so that you can kind of see, so the critters can get up inside there in the little holes and so on. Apparently this is something the ladybugs love. Alright, we got to take care of the ladies, right? Alright, so then we just stuff them up inside here. Hopefully they'll nest up in there. And then down in the lower section here, we have these logs. And then I've kind of put, again, pine cones up in the nooks and crannies to kind of fill it in so I don't get wasp nests and all that. But what we're going to do there is we're going to drill holes. So now for drilling the holes, I went out and I bought some long drill bits. These are not cheap, but I will have them after it's done. What I did is I got 3/16, a quarter, and 5/16 to have different size holes. And then for the last one, I have a 1/2 inch paddle bit, which I will use to drill the 1/2 inch holes. All right, so that's going to give me varying sizes of holes in the logs so that the different types of bees will go into it. Now, one of the things I noticed when you go looking for minor bee tubes, they're all 5/16, and so that's the majority of the holes I'm going to drill. But I'll do some 1/2 inch and some other size holes as well. And then what we're going to do, we'll start with that 5/16. All right, and with the 5/16 drill bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure down about 6.5 inches. All right, and this is the problem. You can't really use a regular drill bit because your regular drill bits are not going to be 6 inches deep. And from everything I read online about making this, and keep in mind, this is not my idea. I'm taking a lot of this from different sources online. You want them to be at least 6 inches deep. If they're not 6 inches deep, what can happen is it will actually change the ratio of male to female because of the way that the miner bees will lay their eggs. If it's not deep enough, apparently you will get more of one sex than the other, which can cause issues, you know, later on down the line. So I'm going to mark this at 6.5 inches. And then all I'm going to do is at that mark, and keep in mind, it doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to go ahead and take a magic marker, and I'm going to draw a line in magic marker all the way around my drill bit. Now, as long as you don't go deeper than that, you shouldn't be wearing the line off. And I'll go up to almost, I'll just drill it in really close to that mark. Now, this is the 5/16 drill bit, and I will tell you that's about as big as will go in there. I mean, you can get a little bit bigger, but you're not going to be able to get a 1/2 inch drill bit into your standard drill. If you have a heavier duty drill, you can get a bigger drill bit into it, but that's why I've got the paddle bit. I'll drill some holes with that. Now, it's not quite 6 inches long. It's probably closer to 4, I think. So yeah, I'll be able to get it in just short of 5 inches. It's about as deep as I'll be able to go with that. But that's for the bigger bumblebees and woodcutter bees, so I think they should be fine. Either way, it's the best I can do with the tools that I've got. And I'm not going to go buy another drill just so I can make this. I've already got lizards living in here, it appears. So one of the issues that you want to avoid, I would think, would be cracks. All right, so these cracks in the wood, the problem is water's going to be able to get into that, and it might make the bees feel less secure. But once again, you know, this is just a trial and error kind of thing anyway. So we're going to go ahead and start drilling a bunch of holes. Alright, so I've drilled all the holes up in here, but now we got to get rid of all the dust. Alright, so if you don't blow the holes out or clean the holes out in some way, apparently some of the bugs may not go in there and actually build their nest where you want them to. So I got my little handy dandy air compressor and a little blower nozzle. Alright, so obviously we got it all built. Keep in mind, all of this was from scrap lumber. Alright, and then what we've got inside, like I said before, this is stuffed with pine cones. Some bugs will hopefully get up in that area. Then over here and over here we just got junk sticks. Inside of here you can see we've got paper tubes that my wife rolled up from scrap paper. And then some old straws over here, and then some more old straws up underneath there. Here, down in this area, we just have sticks. Now these sticks are basically the Mexican sunflower. So hopefully the bugs will be able to eat away at the soft inside and still have a tube, so to speak, if they want to get into a tube. Otherwise, they can just kind of snuggle up inside the little gaps in between the sticks. This is rolled up cardboard that is tied off like so. And that's supposedly the ladybugs love that. And then these are bricks with holes in them. They go all the way to the back, so that other critters can get up inside here. Down here in these wood, basically just chunks of wood that I had cut down. You can see I've got 4 different sizes of holes, everything from 1/4 to 3/8 to 7/16 all the way up to 1/2. Alright, so these hopefully will be for the bumblebees, and then these will be for the miners and whatever other pollinators that want to get up inside there and lay their eggs. And that's how I'm building my bug hotel. Alright, so this has been a several day project between stuffing it and cutting the logs and then drilling the holes in the logs and the actual building of it. But I think it's going to be well worth it. This year, pollinators have been kind of a problem. We haven't had as many as I like to see around the garden. I did see a few more today, so hopefully they're coming back. And they usually do. I mean, they're going to come back. Alright, I got faith. I got faith. Alright, because without pollinators, most of the food just won't grow. It just will not produce any kind of fruit that we want to eat. So there you go. There's my bug hotel, bug condo, bug apartment complex, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully a habitat for lots and lots of pollinators for years to come. All right, thanks once again for stopping by. Do me a favor, give me a like if you like it. Make comments. How did you build yours? Maybe even share some pictures. That'd be really, really cool. But other than that, you know, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But most importantly, grow something and find a place for your pollinators. All right, something that will keep the pollinators in the area. And please, please don't spray your yard with insecticides, because that kills off the pollinators for everybody. All right, thanks again for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. Y'all come back and see me and grow something.